We've reached our destination.
You all arrived here from Cyslodia, yes? In that case, you should depart via the south gate, rather than the one you arrived through.
How's this?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey!
After all that, Kisara never came back to see us.
I'm surprised she slipped away without us noticing. Where would she even go? I hope this place survives. You think the Dahnans and Renans have a chance of getting along? We didn't really do much to change things around here, did we?
This realm had its own walls to overcome. And in the end, it was the people themselves who decided to break them down, without any help from us. I hope they keep going. I really do.
Yeah, well, if you say so, I guess. Huh?
All right. I leave command of the Gold Dust Cats in your hands.
You've got nothing to worry about, Kisara. I'll do your brother proud.
Looks like it's time to go. Take good care of Zare for me. All right, Lagiel?
You've got it. Stay safe, Kisara.
Did you come to say goodbye?
Actually, I was wondering if you could use another companion.
Huh?
Well, we certainly don't mind you coming along. We just figured you'd stay behind and help rebuild. These people could use you.
I thought much the same thing. However, in the end, something changed my mind. Ever since Miguel died, I've been thinking a lot. About where I went wrong, what I should have done differently. You know, that sort of thing. It's true that our dream of coexistence saved many Dahnan lives, but we were naive and short-sighted. I was so wrapped up in my idea of how things should be that I didn't see the problems that existed right in front of us. I thought we had been given a utopia. And so I never bothered to look too far past its surface. I chose to be ignorant. And because of that, because of me, my brother...
Miguel's death wasn't your fault, Kisara.
Perhaps you're right. But in the end, it was me he entrusted this dream to. I learned that nothing in this life is free, or gained without sacrifice. Now that I know that, I'll just have to figure out what else I don't know.
So, decided to join us?
I have. And hopefully I can continue to protect Elda Menancia from outside the dream world, for the sake of those still inside.
And here I thought you joined for an opportunity on my life.
In all honesty, I'm grateful to you. I truly am. I don't blame you for what happened. But I must also leave your service. No longer will I be defined by protecting a Renan Lord. From now on, when I fight to protect my dream. All I ask is that you do your part. That you fight alongside me. Not just for those who used to believe in your dream, but for those that still do. Dohalim.
I understand. I'm no longer a lord anyway.
Well, this crew just gets bigger and bigger. All right, where to, team?
We make for Mahag Sar, the Valley of the Four Winds.
I'm amazed how easily you can move such a giant shield around like it's nothing.
Really? It's not actually as heavy as it looks.
It's really reassuring to have someone like you protecting us, though.
You know, I guess I never realized it before, but looking back, I've always been the sort to put myself in harm's way to protect those around me, even before I joined the Elda Menancia Guard. So in a way, using this shield to keep you all safe feels like it's what I was meant to do.
You don't need to worry about protecting me. I don't plan on relying on you.
That's okay. It doesn't matter if you do or not. I don't protect people because they ask me to. I do it because I want to, and because I think it's the right thing to do. That goes for you too, Dohalim.
Me?
Yes. You see, you and I both want the same thing. We have the same goal. That means it's in my best interest to continue to protect and keep you safe as well. Even now.
I'm not sure how much protecting I'll need either, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sure you'll do us proud, Kisara.
Right. You can all count on me.
Yes!
Right.
No way.
I don't believe this!
Great!
Very nice. What?
I guess...
What?
Yeah! Whoa! Is that... Oh, this is bad. Real bad.
Ah!
Just great.
Yes!
Man, that was amazing! No wonder the old man was so gung-ho about it.
See? What did I tell you?
Shion? You've got sauce on your face.
What was Kelzelik even after in the end?
Isn't it obvious? Clearly he wanted the throne for himself, and was gonna have his goons execute Dohalim to get it.
He had to have known he couldn't hope to defeat a lord. He should have run while he had the chance, instead of holing himself up in the palace.
Maybe he thought he couldn't run? Either way, the outcome's the same.
So he got desperate and decided to go for broke?
One might argue that he was another victim of mine, in a sense.
Huh?
There is no greater calling in life to a Renin than the crown contest, yet I refused to take part. The shock he felt at that must have been truly immense. Enough to drive him to revolt, even though doing so meant defying Renin hierarchy.
I know I've said this before, but Dahnans and Renins wouldn't coexist here if it wasn't for your stance.
But that was no lofty idealism on my part, nor do I feel any pride at what occurred.
Spare us the pity party. You literally just joined us to uphold those ideals.
Shion!
No, she is absolutely correct. I shall speak no more of my misgivings.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Mahag Saar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. If they try to get in our way, we'll take them down and that'll be that.
Discourteous, huh?
Take this! I got it! Let's begin! Take this! Ready and raring!
If they rush you, you gotta jump for cover, okay?
No escape! Stardust! Lunarongo! Rising Falcon!
Art expert, coming through!
Barely a blip on our radar.
opponent like this should be easy. Be still!
Get behind me!
It's over!
Tiger Blade!
Now you
I'll
see
take
what I
out
can
the
do!
legs with my shield!
Luna Rongo!
Tiger
Rising
Blade!
Falcon! No escape!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara! Do it!
Try me!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Blastball!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
Strike! Luna Rongo! Rising Falcon!
I never miss! Do it!
You're finished!
Looks like it could be worth something.
There's something in the water. I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Ren and eyes. Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble. I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod. You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done. Reel it in. I'll catch something bigger next time.
Looks like a pretty energetic fish.
Ha! Reel it in. Well, it's not bad, per se.
Nice work!
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins. Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Okay!
I'm always amazed what healing arts can...
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, Law?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
That came out great. Everyone's gonna be... Mind if I join you, Law?
Oh, hey, Alphen. What's up?
Nothing. I was just surprised to see you weren't training for once. Got a stomach ache or something?
You know I don't literally train around the clock, right? I do take breaks.
Do you? It seems like you're training every chance you get.
Well, yeah, it can't be helped if I want to get stronger. Still, it's important to let your muscles rest every now and then. That's what my dad told me anyway.
Zephyr said that?
When I was a little kid, yeah. I would get so excited whenever he came home. I always followed him wherever he went and tried to learn as much from him as I could. He said, it's good to be passionate, but don't overdo it. Just like there are times when you want to take a break from studying, sometimes your body wants to take a break from training, too. I was always rushing around and forgetting to rest, so he ended up telling me that a lot.
That definitely sounds like him.
It's nothing to get sad over. Still, I can't help but wonder if that was my dad's way of teaching me the dangers of rushing into things too quickly. Then again, maybe I'm just overthinking things. I wish I'd had more time to talk to him about this kind of stuff. I'll take guard duty tonight. It's fine. I feel pretty refreshed after that sleep.
I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help. Something feels... It's odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman. And this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danon, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danons in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danons in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place. Looks like trouble.
Take this!
Capital T!
It's together! We've got this! Here I come!
Reload!
Tiger Blade! Rising Falcon!
I'm also good with airborne targets.
Ignite!
Back into the fray!
Freeze! What did they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Rising Phoenix!
Got me. I'm only getting
In a
certain
bind.
roll.
First strike!
Sighted.
Here I
Got me.
come!
Lightning. Downpour.
Tiger Blade! First strike!
Got it.
Tiger
That's our Trident.
Rising Falcon!
Time to burn. Sighted.
Ready in the wind! Tiger Blade!
Spear sweep. Don't go into this.
Finish it!
Get toasty.
Bird strike!
Right. Next one.
Already on!
Do it. Kisara, go for it.
Prepare to crumble!
That's a pretty fancy skill there.
All the better to protect you with, my dear.
Then I'll leave the front line to you.
All right.
There's nowhere to run from my heart. When he slows down, that's our chance.
It's like trying to keep up with a wolf.
Dazzle! Rising Phoenix! You're mine!
Take this!
Eternal devastation!
Look sharp. Annihilation.
Here I come! Dazzle!
This
Take
one's
this!
mine.
Now I'm in the groove! Rising Falcon!
Sighted.
How do you like being pounded into
Take
shape?
this! Try harder!
I'm gone.
My turn!
That's it.
Strike!
Tiger Blade! I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisa!
Take it. Go.
No further! Here I
Let's
come!
go. I'm only getting started. Take it. Time to burn.
Tiger Blade!
One more.
Take this! Take Dragon
Your form is I'm captivating?
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine this sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danan history, just make sure you're careful with it.
But of course.
I sense...
I wonder if I'm as strong as my dad was.
One day I think you'll surpass him.
I wonder when.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so... well, lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along.
Looks like trouble with a capital T.
Together, we've got this! This one's all mine!
On guard!
Soda!
Expert, coming through! Airborne beast. Mind effect. This one's mine!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly. Here I go. Mega ray. Annihilation. Make it rain. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on. In that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say? Annihilation. Steering flare. Here I go. Go. On guard. Zephyr Tornado.
You picked the wrong fight!
This one I never miss.
Finish it!
Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
I need to be stronger.
They got me flanked!
Far enough!
Soda! Devastation! Rising Falcon!
It's a duel of the arts!
Rising Phoenix! It's over! They got flyers!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
Eternal Devastation! All yours! I'm not done!
Tiger Blade!
Prepare to be sealed, Oki. Actually, bound is more appropriate.
Let's talk in more doing!
Armor won't save you!
Rondo! This one's all mine!
Leave the enemy's arts to me!
No complaints here!
Eternal Devastation!
Do it!
Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life! And done!
Let's keep up the pace!
Soda!
Flame!
Lunar Rondo! Devastation!
Let me help!
Rising
Relax!
Falcon!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
Not a chance!
These fists have got your name on them!
Soda!
Take this! Where are you going?
Take this!
Tiger Blade!
Here I come! Finish it!
Here, let me help! Take this!
I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
I've still got a ways to go!
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
No choice! Take this!
Can't get out of when did I get so far?
Arnex, they're coming through! Take this! Tiger Blade! What? That's freaking gun! Hit shot!
Here I come!
Tiger Blade!
Crash! It's over!
Going in!
An Astral Arts?
That's like you!
Shut him down!
I'm sorry to be a clog.
We've all got enough on us.
Do it!
Yes, ma'am.
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Think we overdid it?
Not by a lot. Anything in armor is all mine.
Tiger Blade!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclops!
There!
Not a chance!
One more! Shion! Go for it! Prepare to crumble! Annihilation!
Dragon
Into the shadows!
Look sharp! One more! Eat this! Make it rain! Talon Storm!
Well, looky here.
Don't get careless.
Take this!
Don't tell me!
Burn in hell!
One more!
Here goes!
This one's mine!
Here I get you through!
Prepare to be
Rising
sealed!
Falcon!
Alpha!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclops!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
One more! Tiger Blade! Rock and roll now! Pounce it! I never miss!
Make it
Law,
rain!
get toasty!
Burn Strike!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
my way!
Dragon Swarm! I
Go,
got
go!
it!
By the
It's all mine!
Tiger Blade!
Like moths to the flame!
Tiger Blade!
Try this!
Far enough!
Explosive ring!
Now you see what I can do.
Appreciate the help.
It's over! Time to let it rip! Crush! Be still!
This one's
Here
down!
I come!
Tiger Blade!
You're on!
This one's mine!
Healing
This
Circle!
one's mine!
Dragon Swarm! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Mega Ray!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
Kisara, frozen!
Hammer!
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky! This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough! Lightning thrust! I'm on!
Radiant
This
Blade!
one's mine!
Devastation!
I'll tear you
Hurricane
apart!
thrust! I'm not done! Take this!
Ready! Searing Flame! Reload!
Escape!
Going out of ammo! Watch it!
It's over!
This one is
Dragon Swarm!
I'm just getting started!
Try this!
One more!
Explosive ring!
Going in! That's it! Primed and ready!
Damn it!
Tiger Blade!
Ignite!
Where are you going? Ready to go!
Far enough!
Do it! Demons descend! Flashing bang! There!
You're mine!
Not at my watch!
Take
one
this!
down!
Luna Rondo!
Mega Ray! Make it rain!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Out of our way!
Take this! Eternal Devastation!
Radiant here!
Dragon Swarm!
Can't get out of this!
Radiant here!
Take this! It's over!
Here, let me help.
Here! Mega Sonic Thrust!
Look sharp.
Eternal Devastation!
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Going in. One more.
I'll finish you here!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
I'm even stronger than before.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here. Quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's this place here?
No choice! Here I come! It's over! Eternal Devastation! Here I come!
Where are you going?
Dragon Swarm!
Ready! Sighted!
Burn!
Go! Again!
You're
Ready to
mine!
go!
Make it rain!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Here's a healing card!
Not again! Fluid kick!
Going in!
Not the shot!
Take Gemini Aqua! Tiger Blade!
Here I come!
Make it rain! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Let's refrain from losing.
I'm
like bait to them.
Take this!
Confiscated!
You require a hand.
Going in! Here!
Plasma shot!
Talon Hurricane! Searing Flame! Wicked does it!
Lightning thrust!
Wicked does it! I'll heal you all!
Take this! You're finished!
Far enough! I owe you one for that. And just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done. Where are you going? You're the last to die next. That's it.
It's over!
Flame!
You picked the wrong fight!
Talon score! You're lightning! Ready!
Be still!
Frickin' does it! That frickin' does it! That frickin' does it! You're mine! Make it rain! Come on! Tiger Blade! Macabre! I'm ready!
Now let's try this! Infernal Torrent!
Look sharp! Rolling Snake! Will this help? Tiger Blade!
You're mine!
Healing this one's mine!
Here I come! Demon Pack!
And again!
I'm on it!
I'm gone! Downfall! One more! I'm out!
Rising
Tiger
River!
Blade!
Hurricane Strike! Rising
This
Phoenix!
one! Ringwell! Frozen! Hammer!
Still... We've got a ways to go.
Out of our way!
Here I come! It's this time!
Look sharp!
You're mine!
Where are you going? One more! Tiger Blade!
Rising Falcon! It's over!
Look sharp! Lightning! Take
this!
Downfall! Tiger Blade! I'm ready! Into the shadows! This one's
Take this!
mine! Mega Red!
Dazzle! You're on!
I'm gone!
It's over!
One more! Far enough!
You're mine! Ignite!
Make it rain! Frozen! Hammer! Here goes! Here!
Hurricane Thrust! No escape! Strut up!
Here's
You're
the
finished!
roar!
Rising them off! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Nice one, Alphen.
Yeah, there's more where that came from.
Get behind me!
Don't mind if I do.
Eat this! Eat this! Rolling Tiger Blade!
Rising Falcon!
Your throat in pain.
Now you see what I can do! Look sharp! Tiger Blade!
Dragon Swarm!
That's freaking good!
Take this!
Can't get out of this! Tiger Blade!
This one's all mine!
Healing from God!
Burn it hell!
Mighty Left!
You're
Tiger
mine!
Blade!
Dragon!
Do it!
Why is he human?
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice
Take
technique!
this! You're finished!
Make it rain! Here I go!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Pathetic! Nothing gets by
We've
me!
turned the tables on him.
There are still more left!
Right. No time to hold back.
Look sharp! Go! Keep this! Tiger Blade!
Blew away!
Barely a blip on our radar.
This looks nice and tough.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Lightning Thrust! This time! Hurricane!
One more! Tiger Blade!
Rising Falcon!
Dragon Don't worry, I've got plenty to go around. Anything in order is all
You
mine.
picked the wrong fight!
Hurricane!
Eternal devastation!
On guard!
You're mine!
I'll do the wall! Talon Hurricane! On
Dazzle!
guard!
You're mine!
Healing circle!
Okay,
Tiger
here I go!
Blade! Whirlwind snap! Appreciate the help!
All finish you here and take this!
Rising Water!
Here I go! I'm ready! Zephyr Trident! Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me. Go, Tiger Blade! Annihilation! It's over! Downfall! One more! Where are you going? There now! Tiger, make it rain! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life! Thanks for the cover, Kisara.
You weren't too shabby yourself.
Guess I misread the landing. Guess I misread the landing.
Gone! You want me? Come get me!
It's over! Dragon Form! This one's all mine! Flaming Thrust! Rising Falcon!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly! That's my cue!
Shut him down! You're finished! I'm on it! Rising Falcon!
Going in!
No escape!
Where are you going?
Dragon Swarm!
Make it rain!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix
Cyclops!
Cyclops!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
I can carve through armor!
Here, Hal. We're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
Have you ever considered a defensive attack?
What? Sit around and wait for them to get me first?
Just watch you don't get hurt, okay?
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Wanna be the one to block next time?
Huh? Not really my thing. Be a breeze. Get in, get out. In a bind.
Look sharp!
Look sharp. I'll tear you apart.
Rising Falcon! Flaming Thrust! Rising Phoenix!
I'm out of
We
ammo.
got flyers!
I've got them! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours! For enough shot!
I never miss! I can handle
Rising
it!
Wyvern! I'm on it!
I'll heal you all!
Lift off!
This is Red Maw!
Talon
Will this help? Let's go! Take this! Healing circle!
Why'd you heal me?
Is Sally dying?
The tide of battle has turned!
That's the power of comrades in arms.
Right! Comrades in arms!
What? Too sentimental?
I'm only getting started!
Take this!
Time to burn! This one is mine!
Ignite!
Take this! Light it up! Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life! There's always room for improvement.
Phew, what a rush.
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan. Leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Saar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me? Why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
Reload! Eat this!
Enjoy.
Going in! That frickin' does it!
Entertain me.
You're mine!
Here's a healer!
Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Tiger Blade! Burning Flame! I never miss! Look sharp!
I'm feeling so great.
Here's a healing art! You could use a hand!
Enjoy.
By the power going in!
You're mine! This one's all mine! Take that!
Oh, come on! You have to hold on! Healing circle! Go in!
I'm sorry to try harder.
We've all got enough of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Denied! Radiant pierce!
No further. I'm on it.
Piercing roar!
It's on! Here I come! Not today!
This one's mine!
Let you all down.
Tiger Blade!
Through escape!
Enjoy.
Healing circle!
Did you just heal me?
Yes, I need you, remember?
Right. Take this. Enjoy.
Be still!
Will this help?
Lightning dart!
Die.
Healing going in. Their arcs are interrupted. No. Don't leave me all alone.
Take this.
I can feel the medicine working.
Enjoy.
Take this. I'll heal you all.
Now you see what I can do!
That's
Freaking does it!
going in. Healing circle. And just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done.
Not my fun. Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides, Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Dahnan astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Niez, the capital of Mahag Saar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest.
Hey.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain, but you still can. Can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Niez, the capital of Mahag Saar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Dahnans, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renan district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Dahnan legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renans have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Dahnans rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is horrible.
Is there truly no one here?
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's the case, then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Dahnans and Renans, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Dahnans rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renans here, there should still be some people around.
This debris... Do you think it could be the work of Renan Astral Arts?
Perhaps, but the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings. It said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find someone around here, we might be able to get them to tell us what happened. What are... those out in the valley? Windmills? They're huge.
They're most likely used to harvest wind astral energy, so they have to be big.
Dohalim, you forgot to take care of the fire yesterday.
What do you mean, take care of? Ah, yes. You meant to put it out?
Yep. If it stays lit, we could end up in real trouble real fast.
I see. I apologize for not realizing that. I shall be more careful in the future.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it simply refused to cooperate with me.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me Renans can't even dress themselves?
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need, so I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit this is still a little extreme.
Shionne's got a point. I mean, you don't see Renans like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically speaking, what would you suggest that I learn?
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress. And put on shoes. How to comb your hair is equally important. And learning to manage your possessions better. And then from there...
She sounds like his mom rattling all that off.
Oh, and another thing. About your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old feathers? I think I could find a use for them.
What do you intend to do with those?
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping well. However, I hear pillows made from owl feathers are very comfortable and wish to make one.
This is why I hate you, Renans!
Did I say something offensive?
Next time, put your own needs aside for a second and think about how someone might react first. Then consider if it's worth asking at all.
All of you, stop right there! Don't move!
They have us surrounded.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
You first! Show yourself!
I'm the one asking the questions here. Don't try anything funny. One wrong move, and I guarantee we'll blow you away.
What are you...
My name is Alphen. I came here from Calaglia.
Alphen? The wielder of the blazing sword?
Getting pretty famous, isn't he?
Here is my proof. Will that suffice? Or do I have to burn down one of those houses to make my point?
No need. I believe you. I'm Beifong, of the Darkwings. Sorry for threatening to blow you away. We're still hunting down the remnants of the enemy forces, so everyone's more than a bit on edge right now. Please forgive me.
Remaining? Wait, you mean you already took down the Lord of this realm?
That's right. We took her weapons and turned them right back on her.
Are you the Dahnan leader here in Niez?
Nah, I'm just one of the commanders. Deadeye's the one who runs the show. I'd be happy to take you to him. Just one problem. The Renans. Seems the rumors you were running with them were true. You do understand, right? I mean, we only just liberated the city from their kind. Everyone's short on trust. And for good reason. Especially Deadeye. I think it'd be best if those two waited outside.
Not going to happen.
I don't think it's a good idea for us to split up. It's too dangerous.
Then it's on your head, friend. Our base is that way.
You could have left me behind, you know.
This isn't just about you, Dohalim.
Ah, yes.
I guess even after you beat the Renans, your work's only really just begun, huh?
Yeah. This place seems like it's got a lot of issues to fix.